Good morning, students. So, today we are going to learn the first chapter from the textbook, that is The Portrait of a Lady, which is written by Khushwant Singh, the famous writer in Indian literature. By birth, he is an Indian. He was born in 1915 and died in 2014. He has written many works in his lifetime. If we look at his biography, he is an Indian by birth. He also worked as a lawyer, served, diplomat, journalist, politician, and he wrote so many works that he wrote in his lifetime. For example, Train to Pakistan, which he wrote in 1956, and so many other works that he has written. So that's why, due to his contribution, such a contribution that he has got many awards that he received. For example, Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan, the Indian government has conferred. So this is what, in short, about his biography that is given. If we look at this chapter, The Portrait of a Lady, it is a real account or the real experience the author has narrated here, especially about his grandmother. For example, the writer Khushwant Singh autobiographical account is given. He draws a paint picture of his grandmother. He loved his grandmother so much, so that's why the way that he spent his childhood, later on his school life, then his college life, and the last moment of her life, last moment of the life of grandmother, that is very beautifully picturized by the author. So after that, and this story, this narration, that is this story, it is narrated in the first person, and especially it has a biographical mode, written in the form of biography. And if we look at this summary, if we look at the part of this chapter, we will come to know that yes, really, all the grandparents, they love their grandson, they love the children, especially they give their time, they devote their time, they give their attention, their care towards them. Not only this grandmother, which is here quoted by the author is talking about all the grandparents. So let us start with this chapter. First of all, at the very beginning of this portion, the writer has given the paint picture of his grandmother, how she looked, her grandmother. And whenever somebody, for example, he remembers, whenever the people used to say, because from the last 20 years, he had been in her contact. Who? The author, Khushwant Singh. He had been in her contact, that he had seen her, and there is no change at all in her appearance. Whose appearance? Grandmother's appearance. From the last, it means 20 years. So whenever people used to say that once she had been pretty and young, once she had been young and pretty, that time really he could not believe. Why? Because this is, for example, the short question, why he could not believe? Because from the last 20 years, the appearance is same. It means she is looking, having the wrinkles on her face, that silvery hair, that clothes, each and everything. It means, in short, the look is same, appearance is same. So that's why this thought is almost revolting for the narrator. For example, whenever somebody used to say that really once upon a time your grandmother, she had been young and pretty. So coming to the next, for example, after that, Khushwant Singh, he had given the portrait of his grandfather. For example, one picture of the grandfather, that is, it has been hanging or hung on the wall. And if we look at the picture of the grandfather, he is wearing turban hat that here he is wearing a turban. Next, coming to his clothes are loose clothes that he is wearing, loose fitted clothes that he is wearing, and especially everything his description is given about his chest, about his hair, about his turban, his clothes, that is. And one more thing the narrator has defined. What the thing that he has clarified here, if we look at the picture or the portrait of the grandfather, definitely looking at his portrait, one could say that it means he looked like 100 years old. 100 years old person that he looked, and nobody would believe that he had a wife and or children. Nobody would believe looking, because he was looking such a old one, looking at his portrait, his picture. So nobody would believe that once upon a time that he had a wife. For example, he had a wife when he was living, when he was alive, he had a wife and children. So looking only because of his turban, his beard, plus his clothes, everything. So that's next coming. This is what about grandmother and grandfather. Coming to the next point, the author's grandmother. For example, the description is given. In detail, the narrator has quoted her picture, how she looked like. For example, the narrator says that his grandmother, that she was short, fat and slightly bent. Description is given how the grandmother was. She was short lady, fat looking and slightly bent. Slightly bent, for example, and she used to wear always that she was wearing, for example, always in a white clothes. She dressed in a white clothes, spotless white clothes. And while she is walking, it means she used to walk, wobbling around the house. For example, wobbling around the house. One hand on his waist forward, one hand on the waist to maintain the stoop there. Another hand that is busy in counting the rosary, counting the beads of the rosary. Another hand, one hand on her waist there to balance the stoop there, and the another hand that is busy in counting the beads of the rosary there. And continuously her lips, relentlessly, her lips were moving, because continuously that she used to prayer is going on, and the one hand or her fingers are busy in counting the beads of rosary there, and hobbling around the house in a spotless condition there. Spotless, for example, spotless white clothes. Nobody could spot her in such a position. So that is why one expression is given, for example, and she was having she is an expanse of pure white serenity. Such an expression is used, such a statement is used for her. Before that, for example, clothes we have seen, the way that she looked, short, fat, slightly bent, and always dressed in white clothes, hobbling around the house, one hand on her waist, another hand to balance to stoop the balance of stoop, and another hand counting the rosary there, or the beads of rosary. Next, her face, which is having crisscross of the wrinkles, pale face, and which is covered by the silvery hair. The face is her wrinkled face, crisscross wrinkled face is covered by silvery hair. So this is what the description. And hobbling around the house. Next coming, that is one expression statement is used. That is, she looked like an expanse of white pure white serenity. Why it is used there? Because the lady, just like an expanse looks. For example, if we look at the mountains, especially the mountains which are covered by the snow, if you look at the snowy mountains there, definitely she looked like, it means calm. She is calm, pure, white, having peace on her face. So that is why this expression is used there. Just like whenever we look at the expanse, when we look at the mountains or the snowy mountains, so definitely a kind of a peace, contentment. We feel that kind of the contentment. So next coming, her face that was calm, just like her clothes, white clothes. Next coming, there was it means her face just like it looked like a pure one, and whiteness was there. So that is why this expression the writer has compared with the mountain there. The writer has compared with mountain. So this is what the appearance is given. In the first two points, the writer remembers his grandmother and grandfather. Second point, the narrator has given Khushwant Singh, the author's grandmother, especially her appearance is given here. The way that she looked like, the way that she used to hobble around the house in a white serenity, white clothes, everything is given. So that's why she looks like an expanse of pure white serenity there. So next coming, that the author's childhood, because in this chapter 3 stages are given. 3 stages are given. First stage, for example, the childhood. Second stage, school life, and the next stage, college life. So 3 different stages are given. So the first stage the narrator has very clearly defined here. For example, the author childhood with the grandmother. So what happened when the author, that she was in the first stage, childhood stage, at that time his parents, that they shifted to the city. Maybe for example, his father's work or the job, that the parents, father and mother, that they shifted to the city, to another city. And that time they left the narrator with his grandmother. Narrator left back in that village with his grandmother. So at that time, the grandmother, she took each and every care. She looked after him very carefully. So that is why at the beginning, at the very inception, I told you that all the grandparents, that they love their children or the grandson, they used to spend the time paying the attention, care. So in the same manner, that she took each and every care. Maybe for example, it means preparing the narrator for the school. Maybe for example, waking him up in the morning, later on getting him ready. Maybe for example, it means bathing each and everything, dressing him. For example, when the narrator was going to the school at that time, collecting all the materials which he needed in school. Maybe for example, one example is given about the slate. One example is given that she used to wash his slate. She used to, it means fill all the contents, all the atoms in his bag, including slate, books, pen, each and everything. And that she used to tie all the items, that she used to tie in a bundle, that she used to make one bundle there. And when she used to, for example, and loudly, especially whenever that she used to dress him, whenever the narrator is dressing, bathing, that time, loudly that she used to sing the prayers or the song. Why? It means why? What is the reason? Why she used to sing loudly? Because she thought that, she hoped that listening her prayer, listening her song, narrator would also learn. He would also learn. So that's why loudly, deliberately, that she used to sing the prayer or song. But the narrator, he was not interested at all. Only that he used to listen, only for one reason. And what was that reason? Because he loved her voice. What? The narrator loved her voice. So that's why he was not interested in music or in any other things there. Other things. He was only, he loved her voice. So that's why he used to listen. So this is what the childhood stage the narrator gave, that he described here. The way that she used to make him ready for the school. from the morning till night, waking him up, dressing, collecting all the content, keeping in his bag, school bag, and preparing the tiffin box, and especially for the tiffin box that she used to give. For example, stale chapatis, that thick, on which a little bit butter and sugar is spreading butter and sugar, that she used to keep for the that in that tiffin box. And while that they used to go to the school, and she accompanied. The narrator was going to the village school. The narrator was going to the village school, so that's why the grandmother that she used to accompany him. See now, when the narrator was going to the school, village school, that time everywhere that he was accompanied by his grandmother. Not only at home but also in school. School also that she used to went, because school and temple that they were attached. School and temple were attached. So that's why. And when they were going to the school, when they used to leave for the school, that time she used to take with her some stale chapatis. Why that she used to carry some stale chapatis? Because feeding of the stray dogs, or to feed the stray dogs. That was her. It means she was a kind of a kind lady, we could say, especially for the animals, that she used to take care of the animals. So that's why whenever that she used to go to the school with the narrator, that she used to carry some stale chapatis for what? For the stray dogs. So then after that the description of the school is given. School and the temple, that they were attached to each other. So that's why when the narrator was learning, whenever that he used to study in the school, and the description is given, 2 rows, that they sat in 2 rows in the school, and the priest is given, not the teacher, and the priest that he used to teach them, or he taught them. What he taught them? Some alphabets, for example, alphabets and other prayers that he used to taught them. See now, in village school, because later on we have to see, as per the stages changes, it means he undergoes the changes there. In school life, that priest used to teach, or he taught him what? Alphabets and prayers in school, village school. And they sat in 2 rows there. And in the same manner, whenever that they were learning at school, at the same time, his grandmother, that she used to sit in the temple, inside the temple, and what she used to do there, that she read the scriptures and holy books. Because why? Narrator's grandmother was a religious lady. She was a religious lady. So that's why whenever the narrator is sitting in the school, that he is learning, or the priest used to teach him the alphabets and the prayers, that time sitting in the temple, that she used to read the holy books or the scriptures there. And after then returning to home, once again that they used to feed the stale chapatis to the stray dogs. So this is what the first stage is given, that is a school life. Later on started next the city life, that is the next, when the narrator shifted to the city. Later on what happened, that we will continue in the next video there. So for today's, that's all from me. Thank you.